Alright, we're back, and this will be part 3 of 4 of our Spiral Abyss run. So we already did floor 9 and floor 10, so now we're working on floor 11. So floor 11 is kind of when you'll start to have a bad time if your characters are not leveled and you don't have your talents leveled up. What I would recommend probably is, again, have your characters at least ascended to 70 and have your talents at least 666. On, or at least like on most of your attack skills on your main DPS, that they're leveled up, and have some kind of gear on your characters, like at least like maybe like +4 or some, or at least like +8. I would probably recommend like get minimum of +12 on most of your gear, and you'll probably have an easier time. Again, the leyline disorder kind of changes every time you run this, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. In this case, this time it kind of favors my team, since I run normal attack damage teams with Child and Noelle. And then the blessing changes every time, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So let's just kind of go over our game plan first, right? So Chamber 1. Chamber 1 is kind of like one of the harder ones where you're going to have to know which targets to go for, especially since this one is when you're defending that pillar thing. And if you don't go for the right targets, or if you don't kill them fast enough, which again has to do with gear, you're going to have a bad time, right? So I wouldn't worry about it too much if you're just starting off. The main thing is you want to go for pretty much the range characters first if possible. Like the Lavature will kind of chase you around and it won't go for the pillar. And I'll kind of go over that as I run it. So go for those targets first. And then in Chamber 2, the main thing is you don't have to defend the pillar anymore, as many just killing them. The main thing is kind of being a little bit more careful when it comes to, you want to kill the specters, have the slimes chase you, and then with the water mimics, the hard part about this is if you don't have ranged, you're going to have a bad time with the flying birds, so you want some kind of ranged character and level that up. They're also going to do a lot of damage as well too, so you want to be careful of that. And then for floor 3, main thing is we're going to go after Mirror Maiden, and then the melee guys are going to chase us, and then hypothetically, if it all goes well, and you want to try to kill them both at the same time if possible, or else one of them heals. The hardest part of this is going to be probably the Thunder Manifestation, where if you don't have a ranged character that's leveled up, as well as if you don't have some kind of shielder, you're kind of going to have a bad time as well too. This rotation is kind of hard with like the Thunder Manifestation, so if you can't really like fully clear it with 3 stars, I wouldn't go too crazy about it. It's just one of those pain in the asses. So let's just get started, try to build a team. Let's see. I'll probably run the same teams with my fire and water team, and then the second team we're gonna run my geo team as well too. Let me just look one more time. I'll probably throw a Kaya in here as well for those guys. So we'll replace Goro with Kaya. Let me swap them around. There we go. Alright. And let's just see how it goes, and I'll kind of go over. I realize it's kind of hard to play while talking, but we'll kind of try to go over what targets to go for and whatnot. Okay, so let's get this started. So this part is not too crazy. For the most part, some of the enemies just kind of straight up ignore you, so you don't have to worry about too much. These Rune Guards guys don't really go for the pillar that much. Alright, and then you're going to want to take these guys out. Again, these guys kind of don't really target you, so I wouldn't go too crazy. So you kind of notice like they don't really touch the pillars at all. And then let's see how this one team goes. Alright, so you want to go for the archers.
Oh, so sorry. Moment of birth.
As a dutiful maid would.
It's a little bit easier with my team since I could kind of cleave with Noelle.
This is order.
I've actually kind of got Kaya for the lightning shield as well.
Steady as stone.
Alright. So these are melee guys, you kind of go for them first. You'll probably take them out real fast. So the lava turtle will kind of jump towards you and it'll kind of ignore the pillar. So just try to stand away from the pillar so that way he's not just AoEing down the pillar while he's attacking you.
Freeze. I will have order.
Have a good night, Sean.
Alright, so that'll be the first chamber, and on to the second chamber. The second chamber, you don't have to defend anymore, it's mainly just doing damage. Again, for the chamber buffs, I always kind of recommend, unless you're super struggling, just go for the ones that are effective for the whole floor rather than just for the chamber. So that way on your third chamber, you'll have, you know, all the buffs there. Okay, so again, we're gonna ignore the...
You can run.
We're gonna ignore the slimes because they're gonna come after you anyway.
You're toast. Let's light it up. Witness the power of Gua.
Okay.
Going in.
Riptide.
Nice and swift. Eat this.
You're mine.
So you see most people probably have no issues doing this because since they're running Kazuha, it kind of just like sucks them all up and then you're just AoEing down with whatever team you have. But it's a little bit harder to reach these timers for mobs that don't really group up on you that well. So, you know, that's why a lot of people might have issues clearing this for the full 3-star. So I wouldn't worry about it too much if you're having a bad time, since especially if you haven't built a lot of your characters. But again, you kind of want to just build your characters slowly and just have you really want to level up your talents. Like when I didn't level up my child's talents, it was pretty bad. But now I crowned his E and it's kind of a little bit easier. I haven't really geared him just yet. So it's a little bit slow. Alright. We should still be able to fully clear 3 stars. Again, I've noticed it's kind of hard to play while talking as well. Alright, so this is the one where you kind of want to be careful, especially if you don't have any kind of range characters, where these birds are going to give you a really hard time.
This moment will be frozen in time. Burst forth. Gather.
Alright, there we go.
Catch up.
It's actually not working the way I wanted it to work. I actually thought that I would be able to just cleave them down with burst, but apparently I can't hit them. Luckily I have the Kai ult that's hitting them. So yeah, you do want some kind of range character to this. And hopefully we don't have that same issue with the Thunderbird. Because in this case, I don't really have any kind of range characters leveled up. So this floor is a little bit hard if you don't have any shields, because these things actually do a lot of damage. So you want some kind of shielder and some kind of healer. And with a shielder like this, I could kind of brute force through it. But if you don't have a shielder at all, like you don't have Zhongli, you don't have Diona or Tomo or anything like that, you kind of want to just like, don't be afraid to just not meet the timer, especially if you haven't cleared this before. To just like slowly take your time through it and then back off if you need to heal or, you know, just need a break. Because if you try to run in and without a shield at all, you're going to eat all that damage and you're going to get one-shot and die. So Chamber 3, the Thunderbird, you could get one-shot by the Thunder Shield. So that's kind of why we want like a shield or a healer as well too. So let's see. So we'll just go for the flat attack. So this will be the one where we're going to go after the Mirror Maiden and have the melee guys chase us. And you'll kind of see what I mean. Because they're going to go after you anyways, so you might as well, right? So let's kind of heal a little bit. The one thing about this also is if you don't have any kind of healer at all, or if your characters are not really that geared yet, you want to be a little bit careful because these samurai guys, they could actually one-shot you with their charged attacks. So if you see them like wind up and charge, you want to kind of just, yeah, you see how like my child almost just died? You want to be careful and you want to kind of get out of the way. Or if you see them kind of doing that attack and charging up, what you want to do is you want to use your burst, so that way you become invulnerable for like a slight second or two. There we go. Alright. And then, you see what I mean on that first half where as long as you focus on the Mirror Maiden, they'll kind of just group up on you and you really won't have a bad time. This is the second half where when you fight the Thunderbird, it's gonna fly around and be really annoying. That's kind of also why I didn't want to run Goro and be constantly dropping the buff. If you don't have range and you don't have like shield and stuff like that, you're probably just gonna eat a lot of damage and die. So if you can't clear the second half of this for Chamber 3 or Floor 11, I wouldn't worry about it too much, especially since if you don't have any kind of range characters or shielders leveled up. I wouldn't level a character just for this, to be honest. Alright. So previously what I did was I ran like a range character just to do this, and it was rough. I think I was attacking him like with auto attacks on official, which I didn't really level up. So you see how like I eat the Thunder Wall? So I don't think you'll be able to do that if you didn't have like a Zhongli or like Geo character to shield you. Alright. So normally you want to dodge that Thunder Wall, and you're like he'll fly around like this. It's kind of really annoying. But the main part is if you just want to clear for maybe even just 1 star, the best suggestion I could probably have is just try to survive first and don't worry about doing damage to him. Because if you try to worry about trying to do damage to him, you're gonna probably end up just dying to him from just eating that Thunder Wall. This is probably like one of those parts where it kind of brings out the idea of like you do want to level some kind of good support characters, so that way you have shields, you have the heals. I think previously when I did this, I was running Chi-Chi as well too with Kaya to just kind of like out heal it, so that way I don't die. There you go. So that's pretty much it for for Floor 11. Wasn't too hard for me this time, but last time it was super hard. So what I would probably say is, if you don't have Kazuha, you don't have Raiden Shogun yet, and you can't blast through it like most people, my recommendation would probably be for Floor 3, if you can't kill the Thunder Manifestation and you're having a hard time with it, just don't worry about it. I would probably just try to get at least like 1 star on this. Floor 3, make sure you have some kind of healer, if possible, some kind of shielder, so you can eat through those Thunder Walls. If you don't have like a ranged character, so you can just brute force through it. Again, the Mirror Maiden, just target that and have these 2 guys chase you. Watch out for those charge attacks and just AoE them down. For Chamber 2, the Mimics, as you saw, like if without any kind of ranged characters to hit the flying birds, you're gonna have a bad time. So make sure to have some kind of ranged character to hit them. If you don't have a lot of damage to burst them down, just take your time, because these things do a lot of damage. If those frogs or the giant bird sits on you, you're gonna die. This part, just realize I ran the fire team, but just realize these things don't take fire damage, so you're gonna have to have some kind of like hydro or cryo to do this as well. And then for Chamber 1, the hardest part about the first half probably is when there's the caster one at the first run where it doesn't come after you. They might AoE down the middle, so you kind of want to just run to them and stay away from the middle so they don't AoE it down. And then the second half, again, just have the Lava Churl chase you, take down the Hilichurls first, and then go for the Abyss Mage and the Lava Churl last. Alright, so I hope this helps someone out there in their Abyss runs, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you have any questions. Thank you for watching again.